All right, today we're diving into something really fascinating, a modern, poetic allegory. It's all about a world in a deep spiritual crisis, but it also contains a prophecy, a promise of a huge divine change that's just over the horizon. Let's get into it.
Wow. So right out of the gate, the source material hits us with this incredibly powerful line. It's not pulling any punches, is it? This sets the stage right away. We're not just talking about social issues here. This is framed as a massive battle for the very soul of our world. So, to really get what this ore extractor is all about, we've got to first understand the problem it's here to solve. Let's take a look at how the text diagnoses the civilization in crisis, this world of declining morality.
Now, what's so interesting is that, according to this text, this isn't some new thing that just popped up. Nope. It actually traces the roots of this whole moral crisis way back to these huge historical turning points, like the Industrial Revolution and the World Wars. The idea is that the aftershocks from those events are still shaping our world today.
So what lit the fuse? The text points to a kind of perfect storm of values. First, this laser focus on self-obsessed growth. Then you've got the relentless pursuit of money above everything else, and finally, that constant nagging desire to climb the social ladder. You put those three together, and you've got a recipe for decline.
And all of this, well, it leads somewhere pretty dark. The text has a name for the result of all this greed and corruption. It calls it the Kingdom of Darkness. It's basically a whole new world order, built on some really shaky ground.
And check this out. This is how twisted this new kingdom gets. It creates these two totally different paths. On one side, you have people with just, moderate talent, but they get ahead because they have the right connections. But on the other side, you've got these incredibly qualified, brilliant people who are actively held down by the corrupt system.
So you might be wondering, who is the main enemy of this kingdom? Is it another army, a rival nation? Nope. According to the text, the primary targets, the people this kingdom goes after, are the ones who somehow manage to hang on to their kindness and their purity.
And this quote, man, just perfectly captures the tragedy of it all. It's saying that the inner gems, the unique talents, the goodness inside people, they aren't actually destroyed. They're just buried, hidden, and suppressed by the weight of this whole dark empire.
Okay, so things are looking pretty bleak, right? But just when you think it's all over, the story takes a hard turn. We shift from this grim diagnosis to a prophecy, a promise of a divine intervention that's coming to challenge this whole system of darkness.
So this is the big question hanging over everything, isn't it? Is this it? Is this decline permanent? Has this empire of demon actually won for good? Well, the allegory's answer is a very, very clear no. I mean, the source makes a really bold claim here. It basically calls the demon a fool for thinking his rule is going to last forever. It's suggesting this whole era of darkness is just a phase, a temporary one, and that its downfall is not just possible, but absolutely inevitable.
And that divine intervention, it has a name. This is where we finally get to meet the central figure of the whole allegory, this mysterious, powerful force known only as the Ore Extractor.
So, what or who is this thing? Well, the text describes it with all these fascinating paradoxes. It can't be named or seen. It has no gender, no body. It's beyond our simple ideas of good and bad. And get this, it's everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. This is definitely not a person in any way we'd understand. Okay, so if we piece all that together, here's what we get. The Ore Extractor is this eternal, divine force. It's formless, just existing, until the exact right moment when it's needed. Then, it takes on a form to destroy sin and bring righteousness back into the world.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. One of the most curious details in the whole text. When this formless thing finally decides to show up, it doesn't come as just one being. It actually shows up as two separate bodies, splitted in halves, that work together in perfect harmony to get the job done.
So, the big question is, what does the Ore Extractor actually do? What's its mission? Let's get into the final part of the prophecy and see how this force is going to reveal those buried gems and completely transform the world. The text describes what it does in this really beautiful, poetic way. Each action is a metaphor for a deep transformation. It touches ash and it turns to grass. That's renewal. It speaks the truth and all the lies and illusions of that dark kingdom just crumble. It walks and the thorns and obstacles on the path just disappear. And then it dances, and a whole new creation is born.
And this right here brings it all home. This is the ultimate reason for its name. Because beyond changing the whole world, its most important job is personal. It embraces you, and in that moment, it extracts those gems, that purity, that talent, that goodness that the kingdom of darkness tried so hard to bury. It helps us find our true worth again.
So the allegory leaves us with this final, really profound riddle to chew on. To be it, you should not exist. What on earth does that mean? Well, maybe it's suggesting that to truly be a part of this divine change, you have to let go of your ego, of all those selfish desires that built that kingdom of darkness to begin with. It's a powerful thought to end on for sure.